and they're gonna say, how do you know, Numa, and your accent is a Brummy accent, and he's got American, hardcore American accent. So bro, just explain, because this is where the whole album name Dual Citizen comes in. And so if you can explain explain the skull first of all, we want to get that out of the way, you know what I'm saying, and then explain the whole dual citizen and how it sits with the artwork and so on.
Yeah, so the idea with the album cover, it's all very symbolic, and if you notice, there are these pieces hanging down from a rearview mirror, and the background is space, basically. So it's kind of this idea that of a journey into the unknown, really. And in the driver's seat in the rearview mirror, you can see it's a recent picture of me, and then in the passenger seat in the back is an older photo of me. And so it's kind of this, like I mentioned before, the process of maturing, heading into the future. Lots of questions, lots of unknowns. But then hanging down from the rearview mirror, kind of like you'd have in a car, you might hang like one of those scented tree things, or people have a dice or whatever. But hanging down, you have these two globes, and that's really coming out of the idea of dual citizen. That on a literal level, I'm a UK citizen and an American citizen. But on a deeper level, it's really talking about. I've struggled kind of my whole upbringing with where to call home, and there's a lot of people who would relate to this, whether you're from an immigrant family or maybe your parents just moved when you were young to another country, but I didn't really feel like I totally fit in, because I was born in the States, but I grew up in Spain and the UK. And I felt foreign in each of those places, because even if I looked like I fit in, I thought differently, or if I felt like I wanted to fit in, my accent would be different, or, but a big thing for me growing up was realizing that actually my citizenship is in heaven, even though I'm living on earth, and, that's the state of the world that we're in right now. My true citizenship is in the kingdom of God. And so that's the idea of the two globes there, the two worlds. And then also running through the album is this theme. They're all very closely related. But also running through the album, you have this theme of death and new life. And so that's why you have the skull as a symbol of death, and you have the tree as a symbol of new life. And this is really coming out of me looking back, turning 30, looking back on my life and realizing that so much of the old me has had to die so that God can bring out his potential in me.
Wow.
And so that's the idea of the skull. I kind of thought, when I put that in there, or when I asked the designer to put that in there, he originally put a dice and a die, and I wasn't crazy about that because it didn't really mean anything. But I asked him to put the skull in there, and my first thought was, "Oh, what's my mom gonna say?" But actually, I haven't had any, especially when I explain it. I think people get the idea behind it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I've got it on the screen right now, so people can see it right now, how it's going on. I just love the idea with the whole imagery of yourself, your new self and your old self. And when I was looking at it, I was like, yeah, for real, you know what I mean? And you got the dual citizenship. And I always thought that was, when I saw the cover, I was thinking, right, there's gotta be something behind this. And when he did the whole Instagram thing, I was just like, yo, yeah, that's Numa for you. Dolphins by chance, absolutely.